Israel has accomplished the strategic goals that it set out for itself, making sure that October 7th and the horrors can never happen again by effectively dismantling the military organization of Hamas. It succeeded in doing that, and bringing to justice its leaders, those who perpetrated the horrors of October 7th, notably Sinwar. Now that that's been accomplished, this is a moment to work to end this war, to make sure all the hostages are home, and to build a better future for people in Gaza.
Let's get some analysis of what we've just heard. Mahjoob Zweiri is a professor of contemporary Middle East politics at Qatar University, and he joins me live from Doha. Appreciate it. Let's start with I think one of the key things that Antony Blinken said there was that the fact that Yahya Sinwar has now, as he put it, been eliminated, been removed from the equation, that potentially clears a path for peace. But Yahya Sinwar was a problem for Israel. It wasn't a problem for Hamas. So that suggests to me Antony Blinken is only looking at this from one side of the conflict. He's looking at it from the point of view, well, what would Israel like? Who's looking out at this point for the interests of Hamas?
You know, Nia, in 11 visits that Blinken has made to the region, he appeared as a foreign minister of Israel rather than a foreign minister or the State of Department in American State Department. So it's very interesting to hear him saying that the problem was Sinwar, and he knew, and he himself in different press conferences and other American officials, they signed that the issue is has to blame Netanyahu. So I think your correspondent was clear. There's a load of contradictions on the statements. I think that's absolutely understood. He's leaving his office in a matter of few weeks, and his administration is a disabled administration. They have no tools to force on Netanyahu. Netanyahu completely leading the whole process, imposing his agenda, imposing his pressure on the administration. So it's obvious that what Blinken is doing, I'm not sure it has to deal with Gaza. I think in Doha he was talking about Gaza, but I think in other countries it's more about issues like Iran and other matters. So I think it's important to be sure that what's happening is actually has to deal with different agenda that American administration and Blinken has in the region.
Antony Blinken also, I mean, he posed the key question: where does it all depends on where Hamas stands following the killing of its leader. How do we find out where Hamas stands? Is that information going to be channeled via Qatar, via Egypt? How will Antony Blinken find out the answer to that question?
You know, first of all, they built the conclusion on a I would say a misunderstanding. They assumed that with the killing of Sinwar, Hamas will raise the flag, the white flag, and say we accept every deal. That was clear from minute one that they said it, and they conveyed the message. And actually, Netanyahu government and Americans media reveal from different sources that Hamas said no change in our conditions, referring to the conditions on July 2024. And it was clear that Hamas, of course, I think Doha is one of the communication channels. They convey their message to the Americans because some of the Hamas leadership is in Doha, and I think that's what makes Blinken coming to Doha and discuss this. And I think Blinken also is hoping, as Netanyahu as well, that Qatar will put pressure on Hamas to give more concession. That was from day one. Qatar rejected that and said, we are a mediator. We are not here to place any kind of pressure on any parties. We are to bring them together rather than pressuring any parties.
Mahjoob, thanks so much for your time. I guess Mahjoob Zweiri, Professor of Contemporary Middle East Politics at Qatar University.